the balance. So if the balance here in this example is balanced, you see you go in a more proactive way if you're going like this, or in a more reactive way if you're going like this. So the diamond is a so-called pendulum function, and the bar is the linear function. According to that, the short characterization below is made. So always you have here at the first part the clarity, here very keen awareness of people, extremely accurate in reading people. And the second part refers to the balance. According to situations, more or less trustful and open with respect to own feelings. So this short characterization gives somebody who has nothing, not a dice of axiology, a first insight in his own score. Below that, we'll find the interface of the position analysis tool I've developed. And here the ability means the bar, and the concentration means the diamond. And within this position analysis tool, we have then minimum and maximum percentage points of the desired range we want the person to be in. Distance from median, and then the dashboard system, which shows us whether a person is within this percentage corridor. Then you have a green. That means a strength with respect to the specific position. If someone is up or above this percentage corridor, he gets a yellow, and when he's below this percentage corridor, he gets a red. So that we see, like in traffic, is this in line? We can go forward. Do we have, this is green, yellow, do we have to be careful? Maybe we drive on, maybe we stop. And red, just stop and have a closer look to it. This metaphor from the traffic light makes it easier to point on strength and development fields. Let's have a bit more close look now to the bar of Hartman, beginning at extremely high or excellent. He's saying that to extremely poor, which is here extremely low. You see, the system integrates Hartman's 7-point scale into a commonly used in business 10-point scale application. Let's have a look at the diamond a little bit closer, the balance here. In general, as I mentioned before, the balance around 50% means a balanced view, a balanced approach to the ability. What I also have done here, and this is new, is what Dave, in his article in the journal, in his last article from last year, emphasized, is trying to demask the balance if you take it as a transpositional and a compositional mixture. So therefore, I have divided it into the transpositional balance and the compositional balance.
Very good.
So I can see exactly what is coming from what. This is the split here. And what we've done also is different to Hartman. We calculate the balance in a bit another form. Normally, Hartman calculated, he took the higher valuation, whether it's an overvaluation or an undervaluation, and then multiplied by 100 and then divided through the score itself. So if you see it like that, it would mean that 6 is the higher one against 5. Multiplied by 100 is 600 divided through 11. This is the formula for the balance. And this would come up at 55, 54. What we do is another way, because we want to avoid the extreme balances just because someone having a 0 there or there is very often a problem. So therefore what we do is we subtract these two valuations. At this point in time it's 6 minus 5 is 1. And then we go in steps, 5% for each step, from 50% in the direction of the higher valuation. So this is 55%. And you see this is very near. Of course there are some deltas with Hartman's calculation, and if someone is interested, I have a delta calculation with me to show you where is the difference exactly. And then you see, once again, in the explanations of the report, what does it mean when the diamond is going into each and other direction. So what is important to explain to people is that it's not the objective to set the diamond at the end of the bar. This is not the case. No, there are two different functions in it. So a higher, here this can easily happen, a higher attention on it means attention on his capability, whatever it is. Well, we could have a serious case if we have the diamond at 100% and the bar at 20. Well, someone tries all the time to do something where he's not at all able to. This is not only frustrating for him, but also might be a little bit difficult for the whole environment. Or the other way around, you have a very high bar and a low diamond. That means you have the possibility of an unconscious competence. So I see you get quickly familiar with it. I can go quickly further on. If you take page 5 of your sample report, you exactly find what I have here at the screen. Let's have a look at John Doe. John Doe's skin is dividing his world view and his self view. And we'll have at the first a look at his world view, and we see he's got very strong bars. He's a very intelligent person. 6, 7, and 11. That's a very good score, 22 in diff. And we see the pattern. We see empathy slightly higher than practical thinking, higher than structured thinking. So Dave, with your type stage, we have either the empathetic or even the social, if you take this in the same cluster. And then this slightly weaker structured thinking score leads to the fact that the dim percentage score is elevated. Due to Leon, this means it's an increased creativity of this person. It's moderately elevated and a more out-of-the-box thinking. Let's make an excursion at this point. Leon, thanks a lot for this book. I have to tell you, in Germany, people are very skeptical to go on to new instruments. Vera knows that. Yeah, she's from there. Big clients in Germany really ask me, where's the scientific evidence of that what you're doing there? Yeah. You can tell us a lot about these profilings and things like that. With this book, I can prove. Yeah. And that is a big step in using the HVP, despite the fact that formal axiology is much bigger than the HVP. Coming back here too, let's have a look at John's valences regarding the outer world, the world. You see, they are nearly all around the 50%, all around balanced, which is not so common in this scoring. That means that John is very flexible with respect to all his capacities, empathy, practical thinking, and structured thinking, and has a balanced view on these capabilities. We can say it in short that John is at ease with the world. If we turn inside his skin, we see also very high bars. However, he sees inside half time less clear than outside, which giving us a tension, some sort of tension. And if we look in then at the picture here, we see that he's in a tendency undervaluating his self with a capital letter. Who am I is the question. And at the same time, he's very much overvaluating his intellectual self-direction. Yeah. I called the Hartmann scales here in a little bit another way, because in business sometimes, especially in Germany, it's not easy talk with self-esteem, role awareness, self-direction. So I named it personal needs, success orientation, goal orientation. But however, you know what is behind is who am I, what am I, social self, and what for am I. And we see within John that the balance of success orientation, which is, let's say, a barometer of being happy in the job or not, is going a little bit down. So that means John, with a whole look on this page, is a very intelligent person with very highly adaptive skills who seems to be in an orientation phase at the moment. Please have a look at page 7 of the sample report. This is the so-called spider diagram, and all the dim and int scales are covered there. The blue curve is the clarity, so there are the dim IES and the int IES. And the orange curve are the balances of these dimensions, of these scores. We have the bold 50% line, which shows balanced concentration. So I call the blue curve something like a talent map, the capabilities someone has. And the orange curve is how the wings of attention are spread out, or someone shuts himself off. And this is all in one clock phase, which is always a good method to bring things to people. And if we look at the clock, we have the first 4 hours for the intrinsic world from 12 to 3, then the extrinsic from 4 to 7, and then the systemic from 8 to 11. And we have within each value dimension 2 world hours, 2 self hours. And then we have the dim and the int in order to bring this out. And if you go down of the page, you see on below here, you see all the rest of the Hartmanian scales. I don't want to explain the scales to you with respect to meanings, because you know all of them. I just want to show you how I ordered them. So I have the level of the world, and we have the raw data of the scales until the aggregation. So as I made the page 5 with the outer world and the self, I have it like that here. And the level is made exactly how Hartman did it. I only gave excellent at 0 and extremely poor at 6. So you go from 0 to 6, having all the scales. So I integrate here the scoring form and the axiogram. I have a small space, a huge amount of information. Same is here. I have to be quick, therefore, just the 4 steps I mentioned at the beginning. I have 4 profiling steps in my system for the cross-validation. Yeah? So these 4 steps I use in every profiling. A and B are my creation, focusing on professional world. And I show you just some statistics. Here you see you see my items. They are in the same order than the Hartman items. So I start with the EE positive and SE and SE positive. So start with a good meal and start with a uniform. And then I compared standard deviations. And you see it's only 0.3 separated between the two. And if I take Spearman's rho, this is not good at the moment. You see that the V12C items even score a little bit higher at 97% than the Hartman value profile. And we have also Kendall's W, which is a statistical coefficient in order to find out whether this is in concordance with all the testees. We have here 1,250 testees in it. This is not the thing I want to have it. And then I compared also my the similarity of my items with Hartman's items, which you see is at 96%, quite high. This is the self, and the self is, from the statistical point of view, a little bit weaker, which is in line with all the other validation studies of the HVP. We as individuals, aggregated, tend to be in society aggregated, tend to see the world clearer than ourselves.